Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Dana. I was born and raised in Kentucky in the United States, but now I'm living in Japan. And I make podcast style videos to help you learn English through American culture and everyday life. Today's topic is college. Colleges in the United States. Today I will talk about majors, class schedules, dormitories, and buildings on campus. Before we start, let me talk about the words college and university. In general, a university is larger and has more courses. But in the United States, for daily conversation, they almost have the same meaning. So in this video, I will use both words. Okay, so first, let's talk about majors. In the US, students can have majors and minors. Your major is the main topic you study. A minor is another topic you study, but you take fewer classes. My major was economics, and my minors were international studies and Japanese language. Yes, I had 2 minors. Usually, students in college have to choose a major first, right? But actually, not at my school. At many universities, students can enroll without a major. We call this being undecided. In other words, you don't know your major yet. Students can choose their major after trying some classes. Also, students can change their major. My major in the beginning was mathematics. But after taking some classes, I realized I hated math. So I changed my major to economics during my sophomore year, my second year in college. And to change your major, you need to fill out and submit a paper. It was a very easy process. Now let's talk about class schedules. At my school, there are 2 types of classes. Type A is 3 days a week for 50 minutes. Type B is 2 days a week for 75 minutes. There are also special classes like labs or seminars, which can be longer. I don't like getting up early, so I usually picked classes that started around 10 or 11 a.m. and I finished my classes around 3 or 4 p.m. I rarely took night classes. One semester I did have a night class that lasted until around 8 p.m., I think, but many students try to finish class before 4 or 5 p.m. And as for the number of classes, I had 2 or 3 classes per day. Because my major was economics, most of the classes were related to business, like economics or finance, marketing or management. Also, for my Japanese minor, I took Japanese classes every week. But I had some fun classes too. For example, one semester I took a hip hop dance class in the morning. Another time I took a Zumba class. Zumba is another type of dance. So, yes, you are allowed to take a few classes outside your major. These classes are called electives. Electives. Next, let's talk about dorms and the campus. I went to a public college. My school is very large, much larger than many colleges in the US. So the campus is huge. It's like the size of a small town. And there are many dormitories on campus. I lived in a dorm on campus until I was a junior, my third year. So I was almost always on campus. I mean, I said the campus was huge, but the walk between buildings was not too far. Of course, when you choose your schedule, you have to make sure you have enough time between classes. In most cases, I had to walk up to 15 minutes to get to another building. Anyway, I lived in a dorm with one other girl. She was my roommate, but we had our own private bedrooms. We did not share bedrooms. The size of our bedrooms was also pretty large. I was very happy with the dorm I lived in. We only shared the bathroom and kitchen area. Some dorms had shared bathrooms, but I wanted my own room, so I chose this dorm type. Also, there is a study room on each floor and one large community kitchen in each dorm. There's also a lobby and front desk. At the front desk, there is an RA, which stands for Resident Assistant. This person is also a student, but they help manage the dorm and the students. If you bring a guest to your dorm, you need to check in at the front desk for safety reasons. You can also talk to the RA if you have any trouble with your room or your roommate. Lastly, let me tell you about some of the interesting facilities my university has. One of my favorite spots was the library. Our library has 6 floors. 6 floors. It's huge. We even have a Starbucks on the first floor. I loved to study at Starbucks or rent out a private room with my friends, a private study room. In the US, you have to study a lot outside of your classes. There are a lot of assignments. So during exams, the library was actually open 24 hours a day, open all day and all night, because many students used it. There are also many places for recreation, for having fun. My university has 2 gyms on the campus that students can use for free. I went there pretty often to exercise between or after classes. And we have a student center. This is a place for students to hang out and relax or study. In the building, they have a movie theater, pool tables, games, and several places to eat. There are many restaurants on the whole campus. Some famous chains that everyone might know are Subway, Panda Express, Chick-fil-A, and I already mentioned Starbucks. There are also a couple big cafeterias that are buffet style. So, lots of food options. There is so much more I want to share with you about my college experience, but I will stop here for now. If there is something you are curious about related to American universities, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, everyone, and see you next time. Goodbye!